Good morning and greetings from Northumberland on Wednesday the 9th of February. We continue in Mark chapter 7 with looking at Jesus talking about the washing and the rituals. And in this next part of the gospel, he looks at the outside and the inside. It was quite hard not to come on to this yesterday, but it was important, I thought, to wait a little bit before I did. Because what Jesus is saying, of course, is that what is on the outside is not as important as what is on the inside. And actually, I think he really leads on to say that the outside should be a fruit of the inside rather than a mask of what's inside. The things that come from our heart are the things that can damage ourselves and others. Now, so we don't have complete control over the things that come into our minds because there are all sorts of temptations, there are all sorts of influences, there are all sorts of factors that can come into our lives uninvited. But what we do have is the ability to deal with them, and to deal with them in a wholesome and a healthy way. Now, first of all, don't get me wrong, all of us at times do dwell on things that we know are unhelpful or harmful to ourselves and to others. We are fallen human beings. And there's a sense in which our lives are sometimes a battleground between good and evil. The Desert Fathers were always talking about being tempted by demons, reflecting the fact that we are as human beings, as frail human beings, prone to temptations and influences that may not be good for us. But what Jesus says is that we must fight that fight with God's help, with the love, forgiveness, and the peace of God to help us. Jesus tells a story about the person from whom a demon is cast out, and he uses the description of a house that swept clean but left empty. And eventually Jesus says the demon, the bad influence, will return and multiply. So in our hearts and in our minds, we have to replace emptiness with a focusing on the things of God, with a focusing on the positive, with a focusing on the way in which God leads us, and develop routines and habits that help us to draw closer to God day by day, to have God's love uppermost in our hearts and in our lives, so that that may overflow from the inside to the outside. Because we are filled with God's love, that love can overflow to others. That is our hope, that is our aim, and may God bless us in that.